What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another week of Hero or Zero here on the Heroes for Hire podcast. My name is Shaun Meehan, and joining me, as always, is my partner in crime, Ciara Lawler.
Why are you doing the intro weird?
Oh, sorry, I have this weird speech thing where I occasionally do intros weird. It's very awkward.
It's a very niche problem to have.
I make a terrible first impression, let me tell you.
I can tell you.
Oh, you can tell me one other thing, Connor. Guess where this is going? Tell me what Hero or Zero is all about.
So if this is your first time tuning in, Hero or Zero is the episodes where we choose one comic book character every single week. We talk their good points and their bad points, and we just generally give you a bit of a rundown of everything to do with that character. Now, I normally choose DC characters, and Shaun normally chooses Marvel characters to kind of give you a bit of to cover them, you know what I mean, to let you in.
If you want to slum it a bit,
more about them.
You listen to my episodes.
And Shaun normally covers, just like generally half-hearted, not very good, and the words going around are lazy characters written by Marvel. Ha 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 ha, I have created a divide.
Oh no. Oh, Connor. Well, look, this week, it's been a week is all I'll say. So I just want to have fun with this. I want to talk about comic book bullshit. And I just need someone else to know about this, because frankly this information's been in my head for too long. This, I think, might be the first time that we're taking a look at an alternate universe in a Marvel report.
So normally we would cover Earth 616, which is the Marvel, that's the universe that everybody's in, and that's the main one. So you're going away from that. I
am going to Earth 967. Oh. Now, this is an alternate future. It's bigger. Exactly. It's an alternate world set in an alternate future of the Days of Future Past storyline. Which you might remember was adapted into it's an alright X-Men movie.
It's pretty neat. It's a neat movie.
And so the character, I'm going to give you his name first, and then I'm going to give you a little bit of backstory. Okay. So the character I'm covering is called Jonathan Reed Richards, Connor.
Jonathan Reed Richards. Now, I already don't like him.
Right.
I must admit. Now, that's just based off the Reed Richards. I wouldn't be one to trust that.
I am judging him for the sins of the father, correct?
So, of course, Reed Richards is Mr. Fantastic, who is not so fantastic. Normally in comic book canon. Now, we've kind of covered that hundreds of times at this point. If you're listening to the show and you think, Mr. Fantastic, he seems pretty nice. I don't know.
No, he's not. He's a very bad man, okay?
As we always say, known bastard, Reed Richards.
Known bastard, Reed Richards. And so the character of Jonathan Reed Richards from the future, he is the son of Franklin Richards. And we did a whole report on Franklin Richards, and he's one of the most powerful mutants in Marvel Comics. He can warp reality.
He's Reed Richards and Sue Storm, the Invisible Woman, he's their son.
Exactly. And so there is another, I would say, power couple in Marvel Comics. And the power couple being Scott Summers, Cyclops, and Jean Grey. Now, in this storyline, Scott Summers and Jean Grey have a daughter called Rachel Ann Summers.
Okay.
Now, Rachel was conceived at the time that Jean had the Phoenix Force in her.
Oh no!
So
she should have got herself checked before becoming sexually active.
It's just a polite thing to do for all of your new partners.
I've got the Phoenix Force. I've got crabs.
Whoa, one of those is really cool. So Rachel is a super powerful mutant. Franklin Richards is a super powerful mutant.
What's going to happen?
They had a kid.
Oh no.
And he's pretty much one of the strongest mutants there have ever been.
So this is, of course, not within normal Marvel canon, but this is this is like a possible universe that could exist.
Yeah, in the Days of Future Past timeline, this is one thing that happened. And he's too, like, because he's a villain, this dude, Hyperstorm is his name, Jonathan Reed Richards.
First of all, we're not going to let that pass. That's a fucking cool name.
It's one of the coolest names there's ever been, actually.
Fucking Hyperstorm.
Hyperstorm.
He's looking at Storm like, you are shit. I'm a Hyperstorm.
Aliases Master Supreme and the Supreme One.
Oh, fucking hell. He's got a lot of tags. That's pretty good. That's very strong.
It is. It's quite good. So, very briefly, just backstory. As I said, an alternate future, the Days of Future Past timeline, Sentinels are hunting mutants around the world, and they're imprisoning and killing them. Franklin Richards, the son of Mr. Fantastic and the Invisible Woman of the Fantastic Four, married Rachel Summers, the daughter of Cyclops and the Phoenix, and gave birth to... The Marvel official wiki describes him as a phenomenally powerful mutant.
Holy shit. Which, in comparison to the parents, is like... That's quite a stretch. If he's more phenomenal than they are.
Absolutely, because they're basically gods.
Well, Jean Grey, I would assume, is probably the strongest out of the four of them.
Yeah, like Franklin Richards is anything he wants to be as well.
Oh,
to
yeah,
be fair.
yeah, no, you're right, yeah.
But when the weak link in your lineage is Cyclops, you're not doing too bad.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. And so Jonathan ultimately grew up to use his great power to take over the post-apocalyptic world that he lived in. Calling himself Hyperstorm, he went on and conquered all of the inhabited worlds of the explored space of his worlds.
That's pretty big. I don't want to get into science, but I mean, that's at least 3 miles.
But he like Thanos'd it. Like, any planet with life on it, he was like, no, it's mine now.
but like, how? Like, he can't be everywhere.
He kind of can.
Oh, okay, sorry, he's Jesus.
We'll get into... He's mutant Jesus.
Oh, no.
We'll get into his powers and abilities in a bit. They're busted and insane.
Okay.
So he became a feared despot and a heartless monster. Having been told of the exploits of his ancestors in the Fantastic Four, Hyperstorm developed an elaborate plot to toy with them. So...
What?
So he decides he's going to go back in the past and fuck with the Fantastic Four.
For no reason.
For no reason.
Just for shits and giggles and vibes.
Yeah, just to be like, oh, I'm descended from you and I'm more powerful than you could ever possibly be.
Right. But has he met the Thing, though? Because the Thing is pretty strong, like real tough.
Hyperstorm is pretty tough himself, Connor. It might be a fair fight.
I don't know. He's Michael Chiklis, so let's factor that in.
He's always Michael Chiklis. So Hyperstorm developed a plot to toy with them without their knowledge. So, learning of his evil, Mr. Fantastic, Reed Richards' time-travelling father, Nathaniel Richards...
this is a difficult lineage to get across here.
It is very tough. So Nathaniel Richards, Reed Richards' father, known bastard, is what we all thought for the very longest time, like father, like son.
Yes.
Turns out he kind of went into the time stream voluntarily to help protect the world so that his son could live. So he's kind of been fighting in the shadows for years and years and years, but Mr. Fantastic just thought, oh, he ran out on me. I hate him.
Right. So if he had just made himself known, maybe known bastard Reed Richards wouldn't have been such a known bastard.
Less of a bastard. Certainly not zero bastard, because he is himself.
It's still in there. It's just in
deep
there.
in his core.
No. He will figure out a way to kick an orphan, but like, he might think about it.
So Nathaniel Richards tried to prevent Hyperstorm from ever being born by taking Franklin Richards... into the future and raising and training him to become a warrior.
Okay, hang on. So let me just get this straight. the great-granddad, went forward in time to help his great-grandson. Or no, to stop his great-grandson becoming evil by taking his grandson and bringing him to the future.
Yes, from the past.
From the past.
Okay, we all good?
The idea that the boys writing this are like, this makes sense. I think we nailed this.
People are going to love this story forever.
Easy to get into. You know what I mean? It's really approachable.
Very approachable comic book story. While all of this was happening, Hyperstorm knew all about Nathaniel's plan and allowed it to continue. So there was a whole bunch of stuff with a guy called the Tomorrow Man who can travel through time. He's one I want to
here.
It's pretty good in this story. I want to cover the Tomorrow Man because he is from the 23rd century and he travels back to like the 1990s, so he could easily steal nuclear weapons.
The perfect crime.
The perfect crime. And so, in his most ambitious move, Hyperstorm took Mr. Fantastic and Doctor Doom from the moment that they were just about to die when they were fighting an alien. And what he did is he imprisoned Doom and exiled Mr. Fantastic into a time period without any technology.
Okay, hang on. This guy has he is Jesus. He's got unlimited powers.
Oh, you've hit the nail on the head.
All right.
He has unlimited energy resources. Because
we talked about Franklin Richards, who is obviously the son of two Fantastic Four members, and we were like, he's broken. But now you've gotten another generation down and included the Phoenix Force within another child.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's exactly it.
Yeah. Okay.
And so, ultimately, Fantastic Four were able to trace Tomorrow Man to Hyperstorm's alternate future. They confronted him and they used him to rescue Mr. Fantastic, and they would go to Hyperstorm to fight him. All together, Fantastic Four ready to go.
Oh, they're ready to go. They're going to take this guy out. I'm telling you, they have the power. They've got Chickless.
This is going to go so great.
They've got Chickless and Jamie Bell. We've doubled up on the thing.
Now, while the Fantastic Four were reassembling, Doctor Doom escaped from his prison and he tried to take Hyperstorm's power for himself.
He's a slimy little fucker, that lad.
It's the most Doctor Doom thing he would ever do.
I could wait until everyone is saved, or fuck it, I'm going to go for the gold myself.
It's all or nothing for Doom. So
Doctor Doom is the equivalent of the what if, but one more?
You're telling me there's a chance?
Yeah, basically.
And so Hyperstorm revealed that he allowed all of that to happen, and he sent Doctor Doom back to his regular time period, but not before telling Doom that, no, I wanted this to happen, I let you escape, which just hurt Doctor Doom's pride.
I think that's more feelings than anything.
Yeah, his feelings were hurt.
Poor old Victor. Victor didn't know what was happening. He thought he was a mastermind.
Hyperstorm's just a bully, I think.
That's just mean. That's not even evil. That's just like, lad. No need.
So Hyperstorm, after this, sent the Fantastic Four back to their time period because he was confident that they now knew about all of his powers and would thus fear him.
Okay. But then, can I have a question? Well, I'm sure we'll get to the powers and abilities. He can see every future and every possibility ever.
Not that he can see it, but he can control. He's very clever. So he can, he's just like, no, I'll let them escape and I'll let them do this. And this is what Mr. Fantastic would do. So I'll just let all of that play out and I'll engineer the situation to match my own ends.
And also then just rule the whole universe and every planet.
Everything.
On the side.
On the side, just as a little side project for myself.
Yeah.
However, Connor, these are heroes. So determined... They're not going to give up. Determined to defeat Hyperstorm, the Fantastic Four set out to find Galactus.
Oh, for God's sake. Okay. Shaun, we talked about Galactus. For anyone who doesn't know, who is Galactus?
He is a big cloud that appeared at the end of Fantastic Four. No.
Yes.
Galactus is a survivor of a previous iteration of the universe. He consumes planets and life for energy.
He's the biggest god in Marvel, or one of the top 5.
Yeah, he's up there. He is like a force. He's just a universal constant that he just consumes energy.
He eats planets is the main thing to remember here.
Exactly. There's a lot, like, if you've seen Eternals, imagine how big the Celestials are. Galactus is about as big, if not bigger.
Okay.
So, at the time, they thought that Galactus had been nullified by the ultimate nullifier. But in fact, it's what it does. In fact, he was self-exiled in a dimensional void, Connor. As you do. I'm going home.
I fuck this, lads. I'm heading out.
So, Hyperstorm arrived to try and stop the plan. But Mr. Fantastic revived Galactus. Galactus, having just been effectively resurrected, was starving. And he turned on Hyperstorm as a source of power to consume.
He's the most powerful being there.
He's the most powerful one there. And so they were both together drawn back into the dimensional void so that Galactus can feed on Hyperstorm's energy for all eternity.
Right. So the only way that Reed Richards could kill his own grandchild is by resurrecting an planet-eating monster god.
Yes.
And then allowing the monster god to eat his own grandchild repeatedly.
And he's fine with all of this, by the way.
To be honest, he's thinking this is an easy day at the office. He hasn't literally set fire to any orphanages. He hasn't, just kick some people when they're just on the ground, and knocked over some ice creams. He waits till people get 2 scoops, knocks over the top one.
He's running along, he looks like he's going to high-five everyone, straight for the ice cream.
He has a football, he's like, go along, and he never throws it.
So, he's a villain, he only shows up in this story. There's nothing else really that he's ever done. Right. But his powers and abilities, Connor, are ridiculous.
Okay.
So his main thing is what's called dynamokinesis, which is something that the writers definitely just made up.
I think the magician Dynamo has that, so I'm interested to hear. So
he possesses... Hyperstorm possesses virtually infinite psionic power, which he can draw endlessly from the hyperspace. And this is where the 4 fundamental forces of the universe flow into our plane of reality. So... the 4 forces that Hyperstorm can channel infinitely are strong nuclear force, electromagnetism, weak nuclear force, and gravitation.
Why did both nuclear forces get in there, but only one electrical?
I'm not quite sure on that. I'm sure there's a science reason for it.
I thought for sure weak electrical power was also going to turn off.
So, wind? Why not wind?
Wind. I think we've all seen the shows. Wind, fire, water, earth, other guy,
everything
Captain
changed.
Planet.
Oh yeah, I was going for Avatar, but yeah, it's fine. So controlling the 4 fundamental forces of nature should theoretically allow him to restructure, create, manipulate, and or destroy matter from a cosmic scale down to the subatomic level at will. He's also able to create electromagnetic fields and electrical currents, make anything radioactive, manipulate gravity, thereby changing the shape of space-time. He can cause nuclear detonations, emit enormous energy blasts, and he can use his psionic powers to increase his physical strength and generally accomplish nearly anything he sets his mind to.
And how do Franklin and who's the Summers child?
Rachel Summers.
Yeah, how do they feel about all this?
So I think at the time that all this is going on, they're either dead or in another reality or in another future, I think.
Yeah, you hate when that happens.
Because Franklin is being trained in the future by his granddad.
Yes. Yes, sorry. No, you're right too. So this guy's got a little bit of a Batman vibe.
He's got a little bit of a Batman vibe going, Connor.
When you're vengeance and you got to create some worlds.
You need to reconstitute space-time. Standard Batman affair.
I'm vengeance and also some nukes.
So that's not the end of his powers, by the way.
Oh, sorry. I just assumed when you said he can create anything and kill anything ever, I thought that would be the end, but go on.
No, he also has hyperspace teleportation.
Of course.
So he can teleport himself from one place in space-time to another at any distance. So he can just go wherever he wants. He has the power to render himself wholly or partially invisible at will. He can also make people or objects invisible. And what he does is he bends the wavelengths of all light in the vicinity of himself without causing distortion effects. So he just changes how light works to make himself and others invisible.
But then, can I ask a question? I know the Galactus eats planets. I know this. But this guy seems like he could just blow up or just make Galactus's atoms disappear.
But Galactus is a universal constant. If Galactus goes, the universe is dead.
See, it's an endless cycle. Yeah, no, I get it.
It's vicious. He also has telepathy, so he can project his thoughts, he can read minds, he can create realistic illusions, he can mind link with people, he can camouflage, mind control, mind alteration, mental amnesia, psionic blasts, of course. He can astral project. He can transfer his mind and powers into other host bodies should his own body somehow be killed.
How? How could his own body somehow be killed?
I don't actually know, because Galactus technically doesn't even damage his body. He just drains all his energy forever.
Yeah.
It's very... look, just in case, Connor, you have a backup plan.
He might stand on a Lego brick and he's going to be sore, and then he might need to transfer his energy.
Exactly. Look, art might work out, but maybe get a degree just in case. In telekinesis and accelerated healing, he can heal any injury to himself or others.
So, sorry. Yeah. Can we just go back to the previous point then? Just I didn't know you were going to say instant healing as the next point.
Now, it does take some time. It takes, for a severed limb, that would take a couple of hours.
Oh, of course. Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Well, look, if it's taking several hours, we could just keep chopping off limbs, couldn't we?
We can chop off limbs all day, Hyperstorm.
But then he would make us all forget why we're chopping off his limbs, and then we'd be ultimately none the wiser.
No, I don't think so. And then, surprisingly, so the Marvel 1 to 7 rating system for Hyperstorm then, really it's 7s across the board because he can do anything. But the way it's worked is that, say he's just sitting at home on the couch of a Saturday morning. He doesn't need to be all powerful all the time. So he has... Hang on.
Because in other heroes and villains that we've done, they've picked peak battle mode versions of them to get them up. So now with this guy, they're picking, he's eating his cereal, watching the cartoons, so he's down.
Well, if this guy was at peak, he'd be 8s on the Marvel 1 to 7 system.
He might break the system, I understand, okay.
So he has an intelligence of 5, strength of 2, speed of 7, because let's be honest, he can just teleport wherever and whenever he wants. This one gets me. Durability of 3 somehow.
Sorry. The man can heal anything ever.
Yeah.
Okay. No, that's fair enough. No, they've definitely not absolutely ruined these rankings. Just no, but
if I just said 7s across the board, that's not interesting to anyone. I don't think.
I think it is. We've never had a 7 across the board.
Well, we've had Squirrel Girl, who's technically 7s. She always wins. I suppose.
Would she beat him?
Yes.
No.
No. Not in a real fight, no. In a comic book, Squirrel Girl wins. That's just how it works. Durability of 3, energy projection of 7, fighting skills of 2, because presumably he just never has to fight.
Why would you ever need to fight? Why
would you lift a finger?
You could just look at someone and they would just forget everything that they've ever learned in their whole lives.
You could make them forget how to breathe.
Or just make them want to attack themselves.
Yeah, literally. There's no possible threat that can be posed except for the one universal constant that so happened to not be nullified and now eats you forever.
Yeah, so if you had the ultimate nullifier, could you use it twice on the two of them?
I suppose you could, yeah, if your will was strong
nullifying
enough.
Lads.
You can't just nullify everyone, though.
I think you can.
There's probably a bit of a recharge on the nullifier, though.
I just
For those that don't know,
go on.
The ultimate nullifier is it's the worst weapon in Marvel, because when Galactus first showed up, Fantastic Four went to the Watcher and were like, "Hey, how do I stop Galactus?" And Watcher's like, "I can't interfere, but there is the ultimate nullifier. You could use
back
that."
Pocket. I'm going to look over there.
And so Reed Richards is like, "Hey, Galactus, I have this thing. Basically, if your will is strong enough, you can make it do whatever. But if your will isn't strong enough, you explode." So
right.
Reed Richards is like, "I'll do the Galactus," and Galactus is like, "Oh shit," and then he just pieces out and leaves the Earth alone. And that just pops up every now and again whenever Galactus gets out of hand. They're
mostly because they made Galactus undefeatable.
Yeah, they made him to be too much of a threat. Where you need just a win button to defeat him.
Did they ever use Galactus, just on general normal criminals? Or, sorry, the nullifier. On just general normal, bank robbers?
No,
nullifier.
Yeah. No, they're not giving, Spider-Man the nullifier and being like, "Here, go after Scorpion there and fucking sort him out."
Doc Ock, if you rob another fucking bank, ultimate nullifier.
I'll nullify. I nullified Uncle Ben. Yeah, I'm crazy.
I'll kill you, I'll kill me, I don't care. I gave Uncle Ben the nullifier, that's how he died.
This is my great power, and I have no responsibility.
Just firing it around.
But Connor, that is my report on probably the most busted, ridiculous character I've ever done on this show.
Fuck me. I mean, we've covered, I don't think anything, actually maybe not, but I don't think I've covered anything like that at DC yet. I think that might be the strongest character we've ever covered.
I think he might be. And the fact that he shows up in only one issue, excuse me. You did a Superman character who... Saitana, who ended up, you had to trap her in the sun. That was the only way.
That was the only way to kill her. Yeah. She was like, Superman punched her as hard as he could, and she just literally didn't flinch. And then she punched him, and he was just fucked.
So I think, Saitana might be able to put up a bit of a fight against this dude.
But he would just wipe her mind.
Yeah, or turn off the oxygen.
Yeah. But I think she has that power as well. So... would be a fight. I'd like to see it. Okay,
so those two, new power couple, they have a kid.
And what's interesting about both of them, one issue, because the character writers bring them in and then they're like, no, there's nothing we can do.
We can't have them just walking around.
Because, especially with Saitana, they brought her into, a Superman comic. She fucked Superman up. And everyone's like, well, we can't have her face like Green Lantern or, Batman or Wonder Woman. She just fucked Superman up.
The Flash isn't going up against her.
The Flash is running real quick around her.
Green Arrow just going...
Yeah, I love when we cover one of these characters. They are normally broken. I'm still waiting for a 7 across the board. What can you do? I'll
get you one eventually.
But yeah, so if you enjoyed what you heard here, you can always give us a like and review on whatever podcast platform you're listening to this on. We've covered hundreds of DC and Marvel characters, so if you've got a favourite character that maybe isn't very mainstream, I'm sure we've probably covered them at some stage. We kind of like to cover characters that obviously aren't the absolute A-listers, because people might not know about them.
Yeah, little hidden gems in Marvel Comics. Yeah. And DC Comics, why not?
Other ways you can, why not? Other ways you can support the show is by, you can head on over to our Patreon. It's patreon.com/Heroes for Hire podcast. We do lots of movie reviews, TV show reviews, just generally extra content. And it's just unfiltered. You can kind of go over there to 90-minute movie reviews. Over there if you want to listen to any of them. You can also head on over to our Twitter. It's at Heroes for Hire Pod. The 4 is the number 4. Facebook is Heroes for Hire Podcast. We also have a discussion group on Facebook called Detective Divilment's Discussion Group, if you want to join that. And most importantly, just tell one human being that we exist.
Just the one, please.
So I've been Conor Lawler.
I've been Shaun.
And we shall see you all next week.
Bye.